most of the things that we have done regarding taxation since I have been in this building have been so regressive and so beneficial to the wealthy. The gentleman from the Butts District talked about just last year we eliminated capital gains taxes, which blew a $500 million hole in the budget to primarily benefit the wealthy. Before that, we cut the corporate tax rate, which is something nobody was asking for, and businesses were actually quite confused about because their number one priority were things like healthcare, childcare, infrastructure, and education. Before that, there was an income tax cut to the top rate too. And now we are pushing through this resolution with the stated aim of raising sales taxes as a result of phasing out the income tax. And I know that folks on the other side keep saying, well, this is a tax cut. We're not talking about raising sales taxes. We're not talking about it. Well, the gentleman from St. Louis County and everyone else has made it pretty clear that if you phase out the income tax, you have to make up that revenue somewhere. And that is going to be sales taxes on, as the resolution states, any goods and services. I think we're glazing over the fact that you are authorizing yourselves the ability to raise sales taxes on any goods and services in contradiction of the Hancock Amendment, which is a whole separate conversation. But, I think it was the gentleman from the Haruza District said that this is not, if we raise the sales taxes or increase the sales tax base to include services, it won't be regressive, right? He mentioned attorney's fees and estate planning and lawn care as some services that may be taxed under an expansion of this. What he didn't mention was healthcare, daycare, housing, things that working people are already struggling to pay for and could be subject to new taxes as well. And I think it was the gentleman from St. Charles who mentioned, we've heard all this conversation around economic growth. Reducing income taxes will fuel economic growth. And he said people in his district are talking about that. People in my district don't sit around talking about the GDP rate or the growth of economic growth in the state. They're talking about the price of gas. They're talking about the price of childcare, the price of eggs, all things that the passage of this resolution could in time increase that are already not affordable. This is a House joint resolution. The intent is to put this on the ballot and let the people decide. But as we are wont to do in this room, the ballot language is dishonest. It does not say what is the biggest part of this resolution, which is authorizes the General Assembly to increase taxes on any goods and services. Now, it says something fluffy about modernizing sales tax, but what does that mean? What does that mean to a voter? What does that mean to someone who goes in and sees, this might phase out the income tax. It might modernize the sales taxes. I think, too, we have a right to put stuff on the ballot in here, and we have this conversation all the time, and I talk about it a lot. But I think we also have an obligation to make sure what we are putting on the ballot is not garbage that is harmful to Missourians, and that's what this is, and we should vote no.